All right, let's dive into something interesting today, shall we? We're tackling airport baggage handler interviews, and trust me, there's more to it than meets the eye. We're going deep with RoleCatcher's guides to help you nail those questions.
It's about showing them you're the real deal, not just someone who wandered in off the street. They want to see you've got the right stuff for this kind of work.
So it's about connecting the dots for them, like showing how your past experience, even if it's not directly related, translates to the skills they need.
You got it. It's about proving you've thought this through.
Got it. So let's jump right into some common questions. One that seems simple but might be tricky is, what inspired you to pursue a career as an airport baggage handler? What are they really looking for here?
Passion. They want to hear why you're genuinely drawn to this, not just looking for any old job. It's about understanding how important baggage handling is to the whole airport ecosystem.
So a better answer than, say, I like to travel, would be something more like, I'm fascinated by the behind-the-scenes world of airports. Baggage handling is key to making it all run smoothly.
There you go. You've shown them you're actually interested in the work itself.
Okay, next up. What experience do you have in handling baggage? They can't expect everyone to have come from a similar job, right?
Exactly. This is where you highlight those transferable skills. Maybe you've worked in a fast-paced restaurant, stocked shelves, or even just packed the car for a family road trip. It all counts.
Right. I bet organizing a stockroom during a holiday rush is pretty good practice for handling luggage during peak travel season, wouldn't you say?
You got it. Instead of just listing your past jobs, explain how they've prepared you for this.
So it's about showing that you've got the core skills, even if you haven't handled luggage professionally before. This is where RoleCatcher comes in handy, right? Their AI helps tailor your experience to what employers want to see.
Exactly. Think of it as having a personal coach to help you present yourself in the best possible light.
Now let's get serious about safety, a massive deal in this line of work. How would you answer? How do you ensure that baggage is handled safely and efficiently? What are the key things they're listening for here?
They want to know you're a rule follower, that you understand the importance of safety protocols and staying alert on the job. Mention things like proper lifting techniques, weight distribution, how you'd handle fragile items. Details matter.
It's all got to be like a well-rehearsed dance, everything moving smoothly and safely.
Precisely. And don't forget about technology. Airports are getting more high-tech, so showing you're comfortable with computers and new systems is a big plus.
Speaking of things running smoothly, what about those crazy busy travel times? How would you answer, how do you prioritize the handling of baggage during peak periods?
Stay calm and carry on, right? Show them you can think clearly under pressure. Can you prioritize tasks, manage your time, and communicate clearly with your team even when it's hectic?
So instead of a vague, I'm a hard worker, I might say, when our restaurant was slammed, we had a system. I learned to prioritize orders, delegate tasks, and keep everyone in the loop to keep things running smoothly.
Now you're talking. Show, don't just tell. It paints a much clearer picture.
Love that concrete examples are key. And hey, that reminds me, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your answers and suggest ways to make them even stronger. It's like having a secret weapon for interview prep.
Absolutely. And it's tailored to the specific job, so you're not just getting generic advice.
Next question. How do you handle difficult or irate customers who are unhappy with the handling of their baggage? That can't be easy, especially when the airport's a pressure cooker anyway.
Definitely not. This one is all about your customer service skills and staying professional no matter what.
So empathy is crucial here.
You got it. Acknowledge their frustration, listen carefully, and try to see things from their point of view. Even if it's not your fault, stay focused on finding a solution.
It's almost like being a diplomat. Stay cool and look for common ground.
Right, and if you've ever calmed down a tense situation before, even outside of work, share those stories. It shows you can handle pressure.
Speaking of handling things carefully, let's circle back to safety. RoleCatcher's guide also asks, what safety measures do you take when handling baggage? I'm guessing there's more to it than just lift with your legs.
You bet. You're right. It's more than just lifting techniques. Talk about wearing the proper safety gear, knowing your surroundings to avoid accidents, and being comfortable using any machinery involved.
So it's about showing you're proactive and safety conscious for both yourself and your teammates. Okay, on to organization, another biggie in this role. RoleCatcher asks, how do you maintain a clean and organized work area?
A messy workspace leads to a messy operation. This is your chance to prove you're the opposite of that.
Because a misplaced bag could mean a missed flight.
Exactly. Highlight those organizational skills. How would you keep your area tidy, equipment stored properly, luggage sorted? You're showing them you thrive in a structured environment.
It's about being a responsible member of the team, not just someone who moves bags from point A to point B. Speaking of teamwork,
And teamwork is huge in this role, especially when things get crazy busy. RoleCatcher even asks, how do you handle working in a fast-paced and stressful environment?
makes sense. It's all about everyone being on the same page, especially during peak times.
Exactly. Imagine it like a perfectly executed play. Everyone knows their role, they adapt to the unexpected, and they stay cool under pressure.
So how can you convey that ability to thrive in chaos during an interview?
Talk about your coping mechanisms. Do you make to-do lists? Rely on clear communication with your team? Share what helps you stay grounded when things get hectic.
So instead of saying, I handle stress well, you give concrete examples of how you actually manage it.
Exactly. Maybe you can share a time you faced a challenge at a previous job and explain how you handled the pressure. Did you have to think on your feet, make quick decisions? Details, details, details.
Because those details show you can handle the heat. Right. And speaking of having an edge, didn't you mention RoleCatcher's AI can help here too? It's like having a personal feedback session to fine-tune your answers.
Absolutely. It's like having a secret weapon to help you craft those perfect responses that really resonate with interviewers. But RoleCatcher isn't just about interview prep, it's about your whole career journey. They have this incredible AI-powered CV and resume builder tool.
It's like having a personal brand manager for your resume, making sure it grabs their attention.
You got it. It analyzes job descriptions and helps you highlight the skills employers want to see. And their Copilot AI goes even further, giving you personalized feedback on your interview answers.
Wow, so you can practice your answers and get real-time suggestions. That's incredible. It's like having an interview coach in your pocket. But let's shift gears for a moment. What about the career path itself? Can you really move up from an entry-level airport baggage handler position?
Absolutely. RoleCatcher's Guide actually lays out the different stages of a baggage handler's career.
So it's not just a dead-end job.
Not at all. You start with the basics, receiving luggage, tagging it, sorting it. Then as you gain experience, you might operate equipment like tugs to move things between gates.
It's like leveling up in a video game. You master one skill, then move on to the next challenge.
Exactly. And as you reach those higher levels, you take on more responsibility, maybe even mentoring newer team members.
From handling luggage to handling people, that's quite a journey. But you mentioned technology changing things earlier. How will that impact this role in the future?
That's the big question, right? We're already seeing more automation, self-service kiosks, even robotic loaders. But I think the human element will always be essential.
So it's not about robots replacing people, but rather working together.
Precisely. The baggage handlers of the future will need to be tech-savvy problem solvers, comfortable working alongside those automated systems.
So it's a career with a future, constantly evolving. Okay, back to RoleCatcher's questions. This one might feel a bit uncomfortable. Have you ever had to report a safety violation or concern in a previous workplace?
It can be tricky, but remember, they're trying to gauge your commitment to safety, not trying to catch you out.
Right. It's about being responsible.
Exactly. If you have an example, share it briefly, what happened, what you did, and the outcome. If not, just talk about the importance of following protocols and feeling comfortable speaking up if something seems off.
It's about showing you're proactive and safety conscious. Now, before we wrap things up, let's talk networking. How important is it in a field like this?
Networking is huge, no matter the field. It's about building those relationships and connections. In aviation, it's even more crucial.
So how can someone just starting out as a baggage handler network effectively?
Be approachable, talk to your colleagues, ask questions, show genuine interest, and don't underestimate the power of online forums or industry events.
So it's a combination of building those everyday connections and putting yourself out there. Okay, one last question that often trips people up: salary expectations. How do you handle that curveball?
It's all about finding that balance between knowing your worth and understanding the industry standards.
So doing your research is key, right? Websites like Glassdoor can be helpful for getting a general sense of salary ranges.
Absolutely, but don't underestimate the power of your network. Talk to people in the field to get those insider insights.
It's like having a secret weapon for salary negotiations, knowing what to expect. So when that question comes up, what's the best way to approach it?
Be open and honest about your expectations, but also express your willingness to be flexible. Benefits, vacation time, those are all part of the equation too.
It's about finding that sweet spot, a role that aligns with both your career goals and your lifestyle. So we've covered a ton of ground, giving you a real leg up on your airport baggage handler interview.
From those tricky questions to insights into the career path itself.
And let's not forget about RoleCatcher. It's like having a career coach in your pocket, especially for those of us who overthink our interview answers.
Absolutely. But before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Ooh, I love a good thought-provoking question. Hit me.
Okay, picture this. It's 2030. Airports are even more high-tech than they are now. What does the role of an airport baggage handler look like in this future?
Ooh, that is a good one. More robots. Self-driving luggage carts.
Maybe. Technology will definitely keep changing things up. But I don't think the human element is going away completely. Instead, we'll see baggage handlers taking on more specialized roles.
So less about muscle, more about knowing how to manage all that technology.
Exactly. Think adaptability, tech skills, problem solving on the fly. That's the future of baggage handling.
It's like becoming an airport baggage engineer. So cool. Well, there you have it, our deep dive into the world of airport baggage handling. We've uncovered some really valuable tips and tricks thanks to RoleCatcher's insights.
And don't forget, this is a field that's only going to get more interesting.
So to all our listeners out there gearing up for those interviews, good luck. We're rooting for you. And remember, a positive attitude and a little preparation can go a long way.
Absolutely. Now go out there and ace those interviews.
And we'll be back next time with another deep dive on a new career. Until then.